it's Kerry here from the Female Entrepreneur Association, and welcome to another weekly dose of inspiration to build a successful business. So, all of us use social media to grow our businesses, or at least I hope you do. However, it can be a real nightmare, if I do say so myself, to actually manage it effectively. I know I have experienced times in the past where I have been so distracted for the entire day, faffing around my social media, that I've barely done anything else. And I've also experienced times where I just couldn't keep up with my social media. There was just so much other stuff going on that I just couldn't do it effectively. And so I didn't post out, and then engagement dropped, and it had an impact on my business. But I know I am not the only one that has these kinds of issues where it's really hard to make the most of social media because you can't manage it effectively. But it doesn't have to be that way at all. And joining me today to help you to automate your social media effectively is the amazing social media marketing expert Laura Roda, who is the creator of the program Social Brilliant, and who is also the founder of an amazing new piece of software called Edgar. So Laura, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, very, very happy to be here talking social media today.
I am so excited about, I love talking about social media all the time. Like it has such a huge impact on businesses, and I've experienced it firsthand with my businesses, how much of an impact it's had and how much it's enabled me to grow my businesses, reach people, create an audience. And it does this for so many people if you do it right, if you are consistent at it, if you kind of can manage it effectively. And it seems like that's where people really struggle. I know I have struggled with that in the past, where I just couldn't stay on top of it. I couldn't manage it properly. And it was either draining all of my time, or it was, I couldn't even face dealing with it because so many people have that battle, don't they? So I thought it'd be really good to just jump straight in and to hear some amazing tips on what we need to be doing to automate social media so it can be really effective.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is that you have to think of social media differently when you're looking at it from marketing your small business. And I think that's a big mistake people make in the beginning. They've been on Facebook or Twitter for fun, and they know how to when you use it for fun, you pop on when you have something to say, you kind of look around and you pop off. And that's great. That's how I use Facebook when I'm talking to my friends. But people try to do the same with their business. So they're trying to do it all live, but they're also trying to do it, 3 times a day, every day at these special times and engage with everyone. And you can't spend your time that way as a small business owner. You have way too many other things to do. So I don't know if people still even debate about this. For a long time, there was all this like, is it okay to schedule out your social media? Is it okay to automate your social media? I mean, I think it's a little bit nutty not to as a business. We're talking about using social media as a marketing channel. Marketing it's not real time. Like, do you have to be acting live on the TV commercial when you show that? No one has that idea. So the first thing you need to be doing is using one of these scheduling tools. I just launched my new tool, Edgar, whether it's Edgar or Buffer or Hootsuite. There's a ton of amazing tools out there. It's like night and day when you first get on board with one of these tools and schedule things out ahead of time. Yeah,
it is though, isn't it? I found that in the situation where I was drowning in social media, and then I had to schedule everything literally like on Monday at this time, this goes out on Tuesday this time, so that I knew exactly what kind of things went out, when they went out, and how it worked, so that I could actually get on with my business. And also then it became more, it was really intentional and really strategic. And I think that's a lot of things. Often people with social media forget about that. They forget to make it really intentional. They forget to think, what am I actually trying to achieve by doing this, by spending my time putting out these posts? They just stick posts out there and don't really think about the results they want to get, don't they?
I couldn't agree more. And that's another reason why planning ahead is so important. Because if you're doing everything on the fly, you're going to have a bunch of bad updates because you're just trying to come up with anything. You're like, I have to say something. What do I say? Or you're typing things really quick that have a bunch of typos in them or not exactly how you meant to say them. When you actually sit down, and what I really recommend is write blocks of posts ahead of time. So Edgar works around categories because I find that categories are the easiest way to get this done. So you're like, I'm going to write 10 social posts linking to my latest blog post. I'm going to write 10 tips, do 10 inspirational quotes. Match it that way, it's so much easier. One, it takes so much less time. And then you can really screen. You look through your inspirational quotes. Okay, are these all things that resonate with me? Are these all things that I want to send out? Actually, that one's a bit weird. Get rid of that one. Put this one in instead. You get much higher quality content.
So I guess then it's really focusing on batching up the content, or actually, first of all, maybe identifying the categories that you actually want to share. So whether it's like inspirational quotes, your blog posts, promotional stuff. So maybe coming up with all those categories, and then once you've done that, batching up the actual posts themselves, so creating them in advance, and then scheduling them out so you know when they're going to send out. Do you suggest to people to have like a specific time of the day? Because I know, for example, with the Female Entrepreneur Association, every morning we always have a tip of the day that goes out at 9 in the morning, and then we do so like certain things like that are set just because it makes it so much easier in my head to know this is happening then, and done, that's out of the way. So do you recommend people do that?
Definitely, definitely. So with Edgar, you tie your category to a certain time slot, which we find works really well. So yeah, you have, and you can even create a category that's like morning tips. You might want to put a little, good morning with every one of them. So you have, tips going out here, inspirational quotes going out here, links to my blog going out here. It keeps it a real schedule that you can actually manage in your head. And what's cool about Edgar is it fills it all in automatically for you. Sorry, I know I'm talking about Edgar a lot, because I created what I wanted.
To be fair, cool. I in the past have not used social media tools. I just haven't. I've always found there's always been some kind of flaw with them. But I have been testing out Edgar recently, and it is blooming amazing. Like it does exactly what you need it to do for you, like you said, with the categories and putting out, like creating that online schedule so you can see what's going out, when it's going out, and you can like build up that library of content so that as well that you're reusing. Because this is a huge thing that I find, that people won't post out the same thing over and over again. But I came to realize quite a while ago that such a small percentage of your audience actually see what you're posting out. So you need to actually post it out multiple times, and not just in 1 week, but consistently over and over and over again, because different people see it at different times, and so it's actually more effective. So I think obviously with your tool you can do that. You can put something in there like it's a blog post, and you can make sure that it keeps going out and going out and going out, so it gets you make the most out of that piece of content.
Exactly. I mean, old blog posts are solid gold on social media for generating traffic back to your site. And with all the tools out there now, there's really no good way to do it. I mean, that's the problem that I had. You had to keep a list of all your blog posts and make sure that you kept plugging in the old ones over and over again. So we often look at my company, what's our most trafficked post of the day. And what's interesting is it's usually not a new post. It's a post that we've sent out through Edgar. It's a post that we've sent out on social media. And that's getting more traffic than even the new stuff. And I mean, we're just sending out once on every network. It's not like we're posting it every hour all day long. Yeah. And that just shows you that's a post from 6 months ago that would probably be receiving, little to no traffic. And instead, we're sending hundreds or thousands of people there just because we posted it on social and because we made it doable. It happened automatically. It's not going to happen if it's so much work for you to keep up with.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I think also that comes back to how powerful using tools like Edgar can be, because why would you not do that? Why would you not invest in something that helps to make your life so much easier when it comes to managing social media? Because every single business needs to be able to manage social media effectively. It can't be an ad hoc thing. It can't be something that you do really great 1 week and really bad the next week, because it doesn't work. And so I think investing in those kinds of tools is a huge part of that success puzzle for making social media work. And I know I've felt like that, especially with having like a schedule in place and being consistent. It's just one of the most important things. But thank you so much for sharing all those tips. I think the main thing that is for people to don't just dabble around in social media hoping for the best, but be strategic, get it sorted, like you said, create the categories, create the posts up front, schedule them out, use a tool to help you manage it all effectively, and it's going to help people to make their social media work for them more, isn't it?
And it really is easier. I think a lot of people listening probably think, oh, that sounds like a lot of work, create the schedule and write the posts out, and I understand that people get intimidated, but it's so much less time than you're currently spending, and you really can get it set up. I mean, you're going to continue to add live stuff. That's the nature of social media, but you really can spend some work to get it set up once, and then it'll just happen for you. I just saw this morning, we got an email from someone who started using Edgar, and she said it doubled her traffic from social media. And that's actually not surprising. It's not because we have some sort of magic formula at Edgar. It's just because Edgar makes it happen automatically.
Yeah.
You know, it just, you're doing the stuff that you know that you should be doing. Software is doing it for you. So of course your traffic is going to double if you're being a lot more active on social media. It's going to happen.
Yeah. So I'm sure at this point everyone's going to be dying to find out more, where they can figure out more about Edgar. So it's the website's meetedgar.com, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
MEETEDGAR.com.
I love that name as well. It's like a little person, Meet Edgar.
Yeah.
But yeah, go and check it out. It's a really, really great tool. I have tried it out myself, and it's the best. I think it's definitely the best social media scheduling tool I have ever used. So definitely check it out. But thank you so much for sharing all those tips on how people can start automating their social media so that it is effective. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And I would absolutely love to hear what you think about this. Do you struggle with social media? Do you struggle to stay on top of it all? Or do you feel like it completely drains all of your time? If so, head over to the blog and leave a comment and share any tips and experiences you've had. And I will see you next week for another dose of inspiration.